is what you came for. Lightning strikes every time she moves. This is what you came for. Lightning strikes every time she moves. And everybody's watching her, but she's looking at you. stars burn after I had my turn. And ooh, you're working so hard. You played your card, so what's the payoff? And ooh, big talk is cheap. You gotta go deeper than deep to get me off. If you're picking up my call, come and do your worst, you know that I'm in control. I'm in control. Don't you know I want it all? Put your hands against the wall. I'm in control. I'm in control. I'm in control.
She a tell me she in control of me love. Girl get wet up when me turn her up. Boy, now she go start wind up. Love how she smile when the worm crawl up. Baby, you full of action like Twilight. And you know dead like 9-9, girl. Bubble like champagne or Sprite, girl. All night me a give you love.
Ooh, you're working so hard. You played your card,
There's a
so
little
what's
bake
the
shop in
payoff?
Southampton, New York called Tate's. It became legendary with people far and wide for introducing its thin, crisp, buttery, delicious chocolate chip
to
cookies.
get me off. If you're picking up my call, come and do your worst, you know that I'm in control. I'm in control. Don't you know I want it all? Put your hands against the wall. I'm in control. I'm in control.
What would I give for just a few moments? What would I give just to have you near? Tell me you will try to slip away somehow. Oh, I need you, darling. I want to see you right now. Can you slip away? Slip away. Slip away. Yeah. Oh, I need you so. Love, oh love. How sweet it is. When you're still it, darling, let me tell you something now. How sweet it is.
I'm faded. Honey's in the streets, say money, yo, we made it. It feels so good in my hood tonight. The summertime skirts and the guys.
WRMS, y'all, yeah, Big Clyde Pipe on your radio. Want to send a shout out to Clyde for calling us earlier. She's somewhere riding around in New York City. Hey, I'm gonna take the 15th caller for 2 tickets to see Chaka live tonight. Yeah, hey, I'm sending this next one out to my people working hard over at the All Good Car Wash. Y'all keep it gangsta on your Power 93.
It ain't all good, and that's the truth. Things ain't going like you think they should. It's all on you. It ain't all good, and that's the truth. Things ain't going like you think they should. It's all on you. I don't care about what you think you see. The things you want to know when you look at me. God knows I done been through and paid my dues. Can't change how you feel, 'cause it's all on you.
I wish that you could be a little bit more upfront. Way the situation how you want. The loving that you claim is just a 4-letter word. The third letter's inviting, so visualize the verb. You curve thought ways when you're handling the candelabra. So you're sitting on a baby grand, transmitting like you made a man. But you paint a funny face like a chick. When I see you, I'ma tell you quick that
It ain't all good, and that's the truth. Things ain't going like you think they should. It's all
I can't
on
believe
you.
we built this large pizza pie together, no pepperoni. Yeah, you wanted extra cheese, sometimes I gave you extras. How we divided slices like the Red Sea theory. I was Moses hopelessly scorned by your thorns, Zipporah. Tried to bring that fairy tale life, you wanted horror. But my microscope couldn't see a cope with that. I had to bolt from that and left it dead in the sea. It's better for me, I'm satisfied with repping for D.
We were certified hot, then dropped to lukewarm. Now we back up in the spot, claiming never been gone. Cut us off, wanna reattach us now.
Them girls who brush us off say they want some numbers to dial.
Yeah, I get that the number and some lumber to pound and catch a curve from my kick.
Don't show me love if I pray.
So stick to the same plan. Don't come shaking my hand like we peeps. It ain't beef, but be sure to understand. Between us, it ain't
all
all.
good, and that's the truth. Things ain't going
Skinny
like
slim
you
women got
think
their
they
so within them you can then lift them, then give them something to remember. Hell out timber when you fall through the chop shop. Take a deep breath and exhale. Your ex-girlfriend, boyfriend was boring as hell. Well, let me listen to the story you tell. And we can make moves like a person in jail on the low. All right, the way. All right, the way. Woo, I love the way. I love the way. I love the way. I love the way. I love the way.
Hey,
listeners, PG&E Proactive.
I'm wearing brothers dissing it. While I stay calm and pray the niggas leave me be. But they squeeze parts of my date's anatomy. Why, Lord, you brothers have to drill me? Cause if I stop to hit this man, they'll have to kill me. You see, I am everyday people. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You see, I am everyday people. I told the niggas, please.
They can't see Armageddon is nearing. I try to shake them. Seems the louder we're singing, the less they're hearing. Babylon got them so mindless they can't see Armageddon is nearing. I try to shake them, to wake them, but they say they'd rather be sleeping. So don't be surprised if my eyes can't disguise that inside me my spirit is weeping.
I dreamt last night at the end it all. I was searching everywhere for food, but there was none. Bodies lying burned in the midday sun. Nowhere to hide, nowhere to run. I went to the city, but the city was gone. Radiated with hatred and destroyed by a bomb. Behold the brilliant colors of the nuclear dome. But there is no song. All has gone wrong. And when I awoke, I could clearly see the seeds of this vision Jah had given me. Planted deep within his aristocracies, hypocrisy and power and greed. So wake up to the fact that they're controlling you. Whether or not you're doing what you want to do, the system that we're living in is doomed. Jah knows it's true, and I know it's true, and I'm just telling you this because I love you, brethren. True and true, I'm untrue until the very end. The sweet is the kiss, the stronger the poison, and this is the prison that I dream about. Dying for nothing. It's Babylon control. It's Hollywood mind control. They take it to you to show you the proof. Come and see the truth is written on I am on soul, and rest of my soul. This news media control, political mind control. Get under your skins, they're wearing your thin, but do not give in for not all and glitter is gold. No, 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 no.
It's the most talked about show of the year.
And in my vision I saw incurable disease, genetically engineered by hateful enemies. All of this in the name of power and money. How is the future for me? Behold the promised land within the living man. Heaven is in your heart, love is within your hands. Behold the Lamb of Peace within the lion's teeth, but he shall not be devoured, fulfilling prophecy. Just say the sun shall not smite by day and not the moon by night, and all his love is revealed
wisdom and live upright. And now all the creatures of the earth shall be held as sacred within thy sight. But then you're the infinite shades of balance between darkness and light. Oh, you're the fighting for survival to escape sadness and yearn. Well, you're the only have one rival. Mankind, oh, mankind. So as long as I inhabit the earth, we shall fight to be living examples of your love and natural harmony. Soldiers of the most high, planting the seeds of peace. Look inward and see, behold the promised land within the living man. Heaven is in your heart, love is within your hand. When the thing it seems we're always fighting against confusion. So much propaganda, it's hard to tell truth from illusion, yeah. But look in your heart and you will always find the solution. Your love will never lead you in the wrong direction, no. All shall be revealed in time. So fear not for the servers. Jah will open all their eyes. So push my people, don't you cry. Yeah. Your life like a murderer, sustained by the blood of the innocent victims of vampire. Paranoia and shame shall follow you far beyond this region, and the blood stains on your soul shall remain to one dimension. Oh, yeah, that fight in world and tribal was to establish science. Oh, yeah, this way is so suicidal. Mankind, behold the promised land. Within the living man, heaven is in your heart, love is within your hand.
Doesn't make any sense to you when I do everything you tell me not to do. When you turn the corner, you feel for me. You can bet it's way too good to be true. So you say you can see through the cracks in my pain. There's a satellite image like a map of my brain, my brain. Too many voices drown the ones that need to be heard the most. Turn it down, turn it down. Turn it down, turn it down. Everyone's gonna get their turn, so there's no need to feel lost in the crowd. Turn me up, turn me up. Turn me up, turn me up. You best be believing, best be believing, best be believing, best be believing. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. You best be believing, best be believing, best be believing, best be believing. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. If that's all you really want it to be, better brace yourself for the hurricane we deliver. Best prepare for the winter. We can wake up the dead with the fury in our heads. We'll be running downstream while you're swimming upriver. It'll make you shiver. Too many voices drown the ones that need to be heard the most. Turn it down, turn it down. Turn it down, turn it down. Everyone's gonna get their turn, so there's no need to feel lost in the crowd. Turn me up, turn me up. Turn me up, turn me up. You best be believing, best be believing, best be believing, best be believing. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. You best be believing, best be believing, best be believing, best be believing. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. You pray I'll stay in the sun, but that's not what I'm made of. That's not what I'm made of. Now you say I'm not sweet enough, too tough, but I still got sugar. I still got sugar. I still got sugar. I still got sugar. You best be believing, best be believing, best be believing, best be believing. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. You best be believing, best be believing, best be believing, best be believing. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. You best be believing, best be believing, best be believing, best be believing. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. You best be believing, best be believing, best be believing, best be believing. Na 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 na. Na 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 na.
It's a super easy online shopping money saver that has over 100,000 five-star reviews.
We talking about peace. A piece of yours, a piece of mine. A piece of mine, one nation, under a groove. This is a world premiere. This is a world premiere.
I done been through a whole lot. Trial, tribulation, but I know God. Satan wanna put me in a bow tie. Pray that the holy water don't go dry, yeah, yeah. As I look around me, so many motherfuckers wanna down me. But enemy gon' never drown me. In front of a dirty double mirror, they found me. And I love myself. The world is a ghetto, big guns and dick inside. I love myself. But they can do what they want whenever they want, I don't mind. I love myself. He said I gotta get up, like I'm more than suicide. I love myself. One you gonna do? Lift up your head and keep moving. Or let the paranoia haunt you. Release the fashion police away my heart.
Track record of a maniac, so I move it in and we unpack. It's the same as yesterday. Anyway we flow, everything must go away. What do you say? You don't know my mind, you don't know my kind. Dark necessities are part of my design. Tell the world that I'm falling from the sky. Dark necessities are part of my design.
Ever was a cornflake girl. Thought that was a good solution, hanging with the raisin girls. She's gone to the other side, giving us a yo-heave-ho. Things are getting kind of gross, and I go at sleepy time. This is not really, this is not really happening. You bet your life it is. You bet your life it is. Honey, you bet your life. It's a peel out the watchword, just peel out the watchword. She knows what's going on. Seems we got a cheaper feel now. All the sweet teas are gone. Gone to the other side with my encyclopedia. They must have paid her a nice price. She's putting on a stupid love. This is not really, this is not really happening. You bet your life it is. You bet your life it is. Honey, you bet your life. It's a peel out the watchword, just peel out the watchword. Never was a cornflake girl.
dancing out there, everybody. Having a good time. Turn the volume up. We're gonna have the best time right now. Burn one for the youth. Here we go. Yes, they gonna roll on up, say, just about one down. So pass it around, pass it around. Yes, no, let them not see the ground. Yes, we go. Roll on up, say, just about one down. So pass it around, pass it around. Yes, no, let them not see the ground. Yes, it's a wonderful party, so late, so angry, so that will be my first mistake. Yes, my friends are not past them along. We just want
Hey, I'm Stevie Mackey. I'm a vocal coach for some of the world's biggest artists, and welcome to my monthly class. This class is an immersive month-long journey of learning and singing.
Let's do it. Working all week, 9 to 5 for my money. So when the weekend comes, I go get live with the honey. Rolling down the street, I saw this girl when she was pumping. I winked my eyes, got into the ride, went to a club, was jumping. Introduced myself as low, she said, you're a liar. I said, I got it going on, baby doll, and I'm on fire. Took her to the hotel. She said, you're the king, so be my queen if you know what I mean. And let's do the wild thing.
This is a crossroads. It's an existential crossroads. And
authorities in China are on alert following a case of bubonic plague.
Experts are warning that if the situation is not contained very soon, we are likely to see a humanitarian crisis in the coming months.
Plague is notorious for causing mass sickness and devastation.
A king has his reign, and then he dies. It's inevitable. That is the natural order of things.
Our stopping is just a readjustment. Our stopping is just a readjustment.
There's another very insidious disease, if you will, which is really a man-made disease. It's a biological construct called MERS coronavirus in the Middle East. It's the Middle East respiratory syndrome. It's made its way into Europe to a certain extent, and eventually, because of air travel, it will reach around the world.
Also, there's no such thing as Saturdays anymore. It's just every day is today.
you know, I just think COVID is God's gift to the left. It was a very difficult thing to send down to us, but it has ripped the Band-Aid off who he is and what he stands for. COVID is God's gift to the left.
Do you hate boring radio? Well, so do we. Get energized with Aftermath.fm.
Tonight, I saw very clearly. The vision comes and goes. But tonight, I saw very clearly, very deeply.
You know, I just think COVID is God's gift to the left.
Yeah, this is
a terrible thing to say. I mean, I think it was a very difficult thing to send down to us, but it has ripped the Band-Aid off who he is and what he stands for and what is being done to average people and working people in this country. We can see it now. People can see it.
I'm Clyde Lewis. You're listening to Ground Zero. So, looking over what is going on in the world today, I waited for this moment because I watched Utopia. It was weeks ago that I finished it. It breezed through it when I watched it on Prime. It was one of those shows that I was hoping would be longer, but of course it was amazing, and I don't know. They're going to have a second season. I hope they do it. There were only 2 seasons in the British version, and so I'm sure there'll be 2 seasons with our version as well. And there's more to the story. More to the story, I'm sure. And, of course, the creepiness is compelling. And the secret reveal at the end is enough to convince paranoid people that this may be our future. And with Bill Gates' record, it doesn't surprise me because I know that Dr. Kevin Christie is supposed to be, or at least they won't tell you that he is, but you can tell that he is. He is Bill Gates. I mean, there's I'm not giving anything away here because you see the man in the previews, but he has his investments in things like GMO foods. They don't call it Monsanto. They don't call it any name that would be similar, but the idea that he's an investor in food. He's an investor in pharmaceuticals. He's a billionaire industrial pharmaceutical pioneer. He has scientists that are working on a vaccine for this disease that people are getting. Actually, kids are getting it. And he produces something called Simpro, which is a meat substitute. It's simply protein. That's the contraction of Simpro, simply protein. And it's odd because, we don't talk much about Bill Gates and his affiliation with Bayer Monsanto. And, of course, we know the background of Bayer and what they were responsible for. Of course, Bayer was part of the IG Farben group that produced Cyclone B. And Cyclone B was actually the I guess you could call it the lice remover or the pesticide, or what you want to call it, they used to gas the Jews during the Holocaust. So, I mean, you just go back a few years and you find that the idea of eliminating people is part of, was part at one time of the history of these groups that now are so concerned about your health. I mean, how is it that Monsanto, the company that created Agent Orange, is so concerned about giving you nutritious food? How is it that Bayer, who is affiliated with IG Farben, is considered a giant in knowing what foodstuffs and drugs and pharmaceuticals are good for keeping you alive? Of course, Bill Gates is in the mix, and he's found himself to be, or made himself to be, the global vaccine czar, and his foundation spends billions of dollars spreading new vaccines globally. Now, while much attention has been given to the role of Bill Gates behind the World Health Organization in promoting radical untested coronavirus vaccine, the record of the Gates Foundation pushing a number of vaccines and pushing a number of cure-alls or what have you, we've talked about before. We had James Corbett on the program. We talked about some documents that we had in aftermath.media. Well, we're going to add another document tonight to that. We want you to read it if you are subscribing. Of course, $9.99 will get you that document. But it's a document that I'll share with you on the air tonight that you have more proof that things are closing in now on those who wish to control us, that are behind, or the experts behind, this whole coronavirus lockdown, or what is happening with this, keeping us basically enslaved to house arrest. And once again, we document what we talk about, and we put it at Aftermath.
So if you want to see it, it's aftermath.media. That's aftermath.media. 877-733-1011. That's 877-733-1011. I'm Clyde Lewis. You're listening to Ground Zero, and we'll be back.
I'm definitely using that for my show, that song. What the fuck is that noise? I think it's Clyde's show. So, hey, what's up, everybody? Good to see you. Hey, Mammoth, it's really great to see you over here hanging out with us. I think Kenny's here, too. You over there, Kenny? Hey, Zoe. Hey, Robin. Yeah, so I'm just checking in with Clyde Lewis because you guys know he went independent now. So he's got his own website. It's called aftermath.fm. And then he's got this other website called Aftermath Media. And if you go to Aftermath Media, you can subscribe to his shit for like $5 a month to get the archives. And then $10 a month for full access to all the documents or whatever. So like tonight, for example, he's about to talk about this shit, right? It's got some document. So he'll talk about the document, and then he'll put it on his Aftermath website. And if you're a member, you can go over there and check it out. And if you're not, well, you got to become a member. Either that or just listen to this show right now. So no, I'm not capping on him. I'm happy for him. I think, it's the best way to go. Hopefully, he can get all he needs is a few thousand people to step up to the plate, and he's going to be golden. He can do whatever he wants. He's not beholden to the station. He doesn't have to worry about what anybody's saying. And a lot of what's going on, too, I notice, is he doesn't have a lot of commercials because I'm running it directly off the audio on his website. So I noticed that he doesn't have a lot of commercials rolling there. So it means people haven't bought into it yet. So on the breaks, he's playing these little montages that he does, too. So it's kind of, the stuff in between is good. So I'd recommend you go check it out, Give the guy a shot. He had his shit up on SoundCloud for free for all these years, man. The guy's busted his ass. He's been sick. He needs to make a little bit of money, man. You know what I mean? I hope people support him, man, and go over there. So, we're supporting him right now by, letting you guys know about it. Plus, I know Ron and him, so I don't think they'll be pissed that we're promoting their new thing. So it's Aftermath Media, and it's aftermath.fm, and that's where you can find the audio. But I'm actually playing audio through TalkStream Live, and Clyde is number 1 right now, TalkStream Live. So Clyde's doing good, man. He's a number 1er, and now he's running his own show on his own thing. So he's going to make it all. He'll make all the money. So here we go.
This is an emergency broadcast transmission. This is not a test. This is an emergency broadcast transmission. This is not a test.
I presume that what you're asking me is, are we at the end of the end time? Yes, sir.
I trained for a scenario like this my entire life.
But it's worse than anything we could have imagined.
We have some breaking news coming for you right now. We have unconfirmed reports this morning of a large seismic event off the Southern California coast.
It's hard to believe that half of San Francisco is in ruins today.
We're now getting news of power outages across the western part of the United States.
Following the most devastating and the most baffling event in our nation's history.
There was an event a couple of hours ago out west. The power was shut off here, 2,000 miles away. We have no idea what's happening, yet we got Cap 22s doing flybys. This moment is not about waiting for the power to come back on.
Please remain calm. Seek shelter immediately.
Hang on, Nathan.
Seek shelter immediately. Seek shelter immediately. The evacuation has begun.
Hey, let me just say, man, that sound quality is pretty damn good. So last week he was having problems with because so many people were logging in. It sounds like they got it squared away. It was really high quality sound coming into my headphones.
Different medications, of course, none of which actually worked. The computer ID chip implanted under your skin.
It is destroying us, destroying our society from within. And unless we do something about it, the magnitude of the dilemma will dwarf 9/11 or any other terrorist event.
Religious groups are calling it Judgment Day.
Chaos on the motorways as thousands of people attempt to flee the cities.
Just a few of the images we recorded, and you can see it isn't what we thought.
Scientists predicted what would happen, but it was too late.
How long, O Lord, holy and true, until you judge and avenge our blood on those who dwell on the earth?
Scientists are voicing concerns that last night's meteorites could just be fragments from a bigger yet undocumented dead comet. Although downplayed by government officials, ground-based surveillance facilities are now looking for signs of any larger earthbound hazards. They're expected to make a further announcement within the hour.
The fault, dear Brutus, is not in our stars, but in ourselves.
You're famed for pharmaceuticals, right? Mm-hmm. Vaccines, and now, suddenly, miracle meat.
Well, we call it Simpro for simple protein, and we think it's a huge breakthrough. Because unlike plant-based protein, you don't have to worry about water or land use.
We don't want to end up in a cycle of lockdown followed by release, followed by another lockdown, followed by release. That's not the way forward. And the way to avoid that is we need a transition strategy that gets us back into more control of the virus. We need to get ahead of the virus, and then if we are in control, we can protect our economies. But if we lurch from lockdown to poor control, and back to lockdown, and back to poor control, that is not what anybody needs right now.
I will simply remind you he is one of the world's richest people, and he has dedicated a large share of his fortune and his expertise to fighting diseases.
Listen, can you guarantee Simpro did not kill these kids? Dr. Christie, don't you think parents deserve to know if they should be worried about this flu?
Flu doesn't travel through meat.
You spout the ideals of a utopian society, and yet you live the life of a courtier.
We all have our reasons for being in this world.
Well, we know that if we do these extreme measures, we get the reproductive rate below 1.
We all have our purpose. What have you done today to earn your place in this crowded world?
You want to stay alive? Come with me. They just killed every single person who's seen Utopia.
Free the vaccine!
Everything in Utopia is real.
Viruses, biowarfare, man-made disease.
I'm the foremost expert on this virus.
Jesus. It's a pretty serious situation. If that's your ass, it's a serious situation.
Stern's flu has now been declared a national pandemic.
I'm Clyde Lewis. You are listening to Ground Zero. I guess if you watch the prime TV show Utopia, you realize that if you dangle a vaccine in front of people who are desperate to find a cure or to alleviate themselves from a disease, you're playing with danger. You're taking desperate people and you're giving them hope, but there is no hope, really. And those are the things I think that are the most horrifying about Utopia, other than the fact that Dr. Kevin Christie reminds me a lot of Bill Gates. And, of course, you know, if you read the documentation and you ever wonder that he's not on TV as much anymore? I think it's because the people complained. I think you can't put someone on TV that isn't an expert, that certainly has a record that it's pretty sobering. I mean, if you look at the Gates Foundation pushing an oral polio vaccine across Africa, and you look at what has been happening, I just read an article and, of course, I did some more research, but the UN, United Nations, has just recently admitted the new cases of infantile paralysis or polio resulted in Africa from an oral polio vaccine developed with strong support from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. This is the United Nations saying this. The United Nations is saying that paralysis or polio, new cases of infantile paralysis or polio, have resulted in Africa from an oral polio vaccine developed with the strong support of Bill and Melinda Gates. Now, the vaccine industry loves to cite development of vaccines in the 1950s as solely responsible for eradicating what was a severe paralytic illness, like polio, of course. It reached its peak in the USA after World War II, and, well, in England, Germany, and other European countries, we started seeing some results. Now, despite the fact that no new cases of wild polio virus have been detected in all of Africa since 2016, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation and their allies in the World Health Organization proclaimed that Gates's $4 billion 10-year African vaccination campaign using an oral polio vaccine had finally eliminated polio. But that was at the end of August. 1 week later, on September 2nd, the World Health Organization was forced to backtrack and admit that new polio outbreaks in Sudan were linked to an ongoing series of new polio cases in Chad and Cameroon. According to the World Health Organization, further polio cases have been registered in more than a dozen African countries, including Angola, Congo, Nigeria, and Zambia. But the shocking thing is that the outbreaks are all reportedly caused by the Gates-backed oral polio vaccine. In a revealing comment, the Centers for Disease Control virologist involved with the World Health Organization and the Gates Foundation in the Africa Mass Polio Vaccination Campaign, part of something called the Global Polio Eradication Initiative, has admitted that the vaccine is creating significantly more cases of polio paralysis than the deceptively named wild polio disease. Bill Gates was reportedly responsible for driving the campaign to develop the liquid oral polio vaccine and massively administer it to populations of Africa and Asia, despite the near absence of any cases of wild polio. Now, back in August, we did a report with James Corbett, and with a document provided by Aftermath.media, we actually detailed what was released in that document. It was a survey of international and competitive law, and deep within the survey, there's this 2017 report called, quote, Accountability of International NGOs, Human Rights Violations, and Healthcare Provisions in Developing Countries and Effectiveness of Current Measures. Now, this is what it says. It says, the Gates Foundation focuses on world health and population and highlights its strategy of accelerating scientific discovery with reducing costs. Since the early 2000s, the Global Alliance for Vaccines and Immunizations, Gavi, Global Health Initiative Technology Fund, and PATH, all heavily funded by the Gates Foundation, have been distributing vaccines and drugs to vulnerable populations in Africa and India. In 2010, the Gates Foundation funded experimental malaria and meningitis vaccine trials across Africa and HPV vaccine programs in India. And all of these programs resulted in numerous deaths and injuries, with accounts of forced vaccinations and uninformed consent. Ultimately, these health campaigns under the guise of saving lives have relocated large-scale clinical trials of untested or unapproved drugs to developing markets where administering drugs is less regulated and cheaper. The point being, Global Alliance for Vaccines and Immunizations, and most of these vaccinations the Gateses have been involved with, experimenting with, have been killing people, sterilizing them, or leaving them paralyzed. Now, needless to say, for the fans of the TV show Utopia, all of this sounds academic, does it not? However, there has been a number of stories as of late that are casting doubt on the techniques to stop the spread of the real pandemic that are in place. And if we rush to get a vaccine, we may be facing health problems that will plague generations to come. Can you imagine a vaccine causing so much damage that it could render a man or a woman sterile or even paralyzed? Barely a week after applying for emergency use approval from the FDA for one of its COVID-19 antibody therapeutics, it appears trials for one of Eli Lilly's therapeutic drugs focused on the virus, they've decided to pause the emergency use because there was a doctor on Twitter who broke the news that something was wrong. What happened is that I was reading the New York Times.
Well, hey, in our thing that we're doing on the reverse speech, Epic Journeyman said that he said the name of that company a bunch of times in reverse. He said the name of that company a bunch of times in reverse in that speech when Trump got out of the thing.
The report cited emails that government officials sent on Tuesday to researchers at testing sites, which Eli Lilly confirmed. The trial was designed to test the benefits of a therapy on hundreds of people already infected with COVID-19. Now, the company didn't say how many volunteers were sick, or they didn't give any details about illnesses or symptoms they were having. But the pause in enrollment comes after Johnson & Johnson confirmed that it had voluntarily paused its phase 3 vaccine trials after a participant in the 60K person trial came down with an unusual and unspecified illness. Now, an AstraZeneca trial in the United States has still not restarted more than a month after issues with a couple of patients basically caused them to briefly pause all trials around the world, though all others have restarted. So we have those that are restarting and those that are shutting down. But more than half of the trial participants have developed adverse events after getting the 8026 COVID-2S vaccine. About 58% of participants in cohorts 1A and 1B experienced local adverse events, while 64% of them also suffered systemic adverse effects. Of the participants in cohort 3, 27% of them experienced local adverse events, while 36% suffered systemic events. Of the healthy adults aged 18 to 55 years old in cohorts 1A and 1B, 19% of them came down with fevers, while 4% of the adults aged over 65 in cohort 3 developed fevers. So most of the fevers were considered mild or moderate. And like I said, when you're looking at systemic problems and other problems, you're like going, wow, I wonder what they had. It's just the idea that they leave it to the imagination. I know that when you're testing vaccines, it's difficult. It's a difficult science. That's what science is. You're basically trial and error and that sort of thing. But again, while the mainstream media has said they wouldn't trust a vaccine offered by President Trump, I most certainly would not accept a vaccine that Bill and Melinda Gates have funded. I mean, I don't know if I trust any of them at all coming out. I mean, why do we need a vaccine? Is it for peace of mind? Is it security theater? I mean, come on. We're not going to cure this thing. They're not going to find a cure for COVID-19. It's like saying, I'm going to find a cure for the common cold. You're not going to be able to do it. So they're making this vaccine and put everybody's lives in danger. You see the record of Bill and Melinda Gates in Africa and India and places like that, and yet people are still willing to roll up their arms and take this vaccine, and they're willing to force people to take this vaccine with a track record of bringing it to fruition is fraught with dangers, fraught with things like paralysis and sterility and death. Now, I don't know. I mean, you don't have to be an anti-vaxxer to understand that this is dangerous. It's a dangerous proposition. You're taking your chances. It's like taking a hypodermic needle and playing Russian roulette with your life. Russian roulette with the way you live your life. And like, again, it's like something out of a horror film. It's like something out of the TV show Utopia. And this is why I thought, for those who are watchers of the show, you'd be able to understand what I'm saying. You'd be able to understand what I'm talking about. I'm not giving away any spoilers, because what is happening in the TV show Utopia is happening in real time. Although it has its, quirks and storylines and entertaining type of things, keeps you on the edge of your seat. But you get to see what is happening. I was looking over this it says here, most fevers were considered mild or moderate and resolved within 1 or 2 days after the vaccine. However, 5%, 20 of the participants in cohorts 1A and 1B, suffered from grade 3 fevers of over 101 degrees. Grade 3 adverse effects are considered to be serious reactions. They are only 1 grade removed from life-threatening, grade 4, and just 2 grades from death, grade 5. Okay? So, this is what they're doing to people. Who are they testing this on? Who are the people that are willing to be the guinea pigs for this vaccine? And what do they mean by systemic problems? I don't know that. I don't know what that means when they say systemic problems, systemic side effects. Does this mean they're not going to get rid of them? Mean they're going to have them for the rest of their lives? Are they going to be compensated for this? See, this is the horror that is the testing of the vaccine. It's the horror of the chance you're taking by getting it. And with everything that I'm reporting right now, would you still get the vaccine? In your right mind, would you still get the vaccine knowing what is happening right now in Africa, knowing what is happening in India, knowing what it's done to women and children, and how they have been paralyzed? Some have died. Women are sterilized. Doesn't this strike you? Doesn't this keep you up at night?
If he only knew all the words, I'd let him sing. When I get home from my job, I turn on the TV. But I can't keep my mind on the shoe. When I lay down at night, I can't get no sleep. So I turn on the radio. The only thing I have is to whisper.
Man, no matter what I do, I can never make that sound good. And that is a live... that Bruce Springsteen stole his whole act from this guy right here, Southside Johnny.
When I get home from my job, I turn on my TV, but I can't keep my mind on the show. When I lay down at night, I can't get no sleep. So I turn on my radio. But the only sound I hear is you whispering in my ear the words that you used to say. Now my day no longer, as my love grows stronger, and the fever is worse. I've got the fever for love. Got the fever, oh, I got the fever. There ain't nothing that a fool remember coming home. I see you standing at the stove with the dishes on the table, dinner ready to go. Oh, never on out to a movie show.
Just remember the Sunday, all right?
There's times when I want something more, someone more like me. There's times when this dress rehearsal seems incomplete, but you see the colors in me like no one else. And behind your dark glasses, you're something else. And you're really lovely underneath it all. Do you want to love me underneath it all?
Here I am, baby, right where you found me, trying to break these chains that surround me. If I look a little different, it's 'cause I've changed. Hair-painted pictures are all that remain. I can't let my past mistakes let 'em bring me down. I ain't waiting on no angel of mercy. I try my best, and I can't help myself, and I'm trapped again. I can't get out without losing you, and I'm trapped again. Why can't you feel what I'm going through? I'm trapped again. I need an answer, girl, can't you see? I'm trapped again. Come and rescue me. Monday morning came so fast. What a fool to think that dreams would last. Close my eyes and it's still so clear. Remember the night, girl, the world is near. Can't let the hand of fate.
I mean, it's just so terrifying, so nightmarish. It's almost like it's a horror film, but it's in real life. 877-733-1011. That's 877-733-1011. Open the lines for your opinions on this. This is from
It's the same sort of behavior. So she did something, then she was scared once people found out what she did. She was afraid.
No one, no matter where he lives or what he does, can be certain who next will suffer from some senseless act
of bloodshed. But that's America. And yet it goes on and on and on in this country of ours.
If people say that I'm brainwashing you, they are exactly right. Turn the TV on. I want to brainwash you too. Nothing is worse than the wrong mentality. Because as a man thinketh, so is he.
Ours is the most outspoken society on earth. Americans are freer to think what we will and say what we think than any other people. We can denounce our rulers and each other with little fear of the consequences. Hateful and shocking expression, political or artistic, is almost all free to enter the marketplace of ideas.
What am I seeing?
is not a problem. Your house is not a problem. Your car is not a problem. Your situation is not a problem. Your thoughts are the problem. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he.
Now listen to this.
This marvelous week of murder begins when you're dead. A malicious tale about a maniac with a deadly eye for murder. All this begins Monday on Channel 7's 3:30 movie.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I ask for your attention? Just for a minute. Soon you'll be caught up with the events taking place on the screen, and then you may forget all about me. Well, almost anyway. You see, I must confess to a certain feeling of propriety towards the story that's about to begin, because, immodest though it may sound, I play an extremely important part in the proceedings.
But there's an evil associated with the Nazi regime that seems more palpable in some sense.
So excuse me, ma'am.
I'm uncomfortable.
Okay, you can be uncomfortable. That's your discretion. You're uncomfortable because of you. I need you to move out of my way, please.
A white woman inside a downtown loft building not letting a black man inside Friday night.
On the right, I think we've identified markers for people who've gone too far in their ideological presuppositions. And it looks to me like the marker.
Straight out of Canton, New Hampshire. Hi, Ken. You're on Ground Zero.
Wow. Hi, Clyde Lewis. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Wow. I'm super honored. Excuse me. I'm going to be a little nervous. I love your show. Tonight is a great topic. I'll stick to it like the caller said. It's very interesting what you're talking about. It's a great topic. I'm very nervous for any kind of vaccine for all the reasons in every show that I've listened to you do, that you've mentioned over the years. I do want to say that one of the first shows that I got connected, or I actually was hooked on Ground Zero, you did many years ago about pharmaceuticals and how the pharmaceuticals helped you in your life, and eventually the same pharmaceuticals came back and caused you some concerns. Mm-hmm. And then you went on and you told us things about how pharmaceutical companies, they prepare for lawsuits, that there's all these things that they actually are aware of when they go into it, that they know it's going to be effective on a certain amount.
Right. It's called iatrogenic artifacts, and basically it's where the cure is worse than the disease, or it's a cure that can kill you. And a lot of times you get misdiagnosed things and you get killed. You die.
Exactly. It actually sounds like almost every medication that's out there. I have a friend, 55-year-old friend, who recently went to the doctor with high blood pressure, and they wanted to give him medication, and all of the side effects were actually worse than having high blood pressure.
Yeah.
So he walked out of the hospital and said, I'm all set. I'll
Right.
deal with this the natural way.
Right. Well, in these vaccines, I mean, you're hearing about the trials falling apart. You're hearing about these horrible, horrible side effects people are getting, systemic side effects. And I'm saying to myself, are we really seriously considering getting a vaccine for something that has a 96% recovery rate and a mortality rate that's below 1%? Or I don't understand, what this is about. I don't understand why we need a vaccine. And it's getting to the point where it's monotonous and it's almost a joke to be hearing people saying, well, we'll just wait for the vaccine. No. This is something that we need to talk about again.
And Mr. Lewis, you're much better at this than I am. Isn't there a thing called the kill rate? Like, why are they not talking about that? And you've mentioned it before. Yes, 200,000 people lost their life, unfortunately, but a lot of people lose their life from things all the time, the different diseases and concerns. And
well, you notice on the news they never report recovery rates. They just report death rates. And you hear them call it the deadly COVID-19 virus. It's not deadly. It's potentially deadly. There's a difference between saying it's deadly and potentially deadly, just like it's potentially deadly to smoke cigarettes. It's potentially deadly to have McDonald's every day for dinner. It's potentially deadly to basically not exercise. These are the things that they need to start saying.
Wow, it's amazing. Again, love your show. Thank you for taking my call.
Thank you, Ken.
Long time listener, first time caller.
Thank you for calling. Appreciate that. And yeah, and one of the things he didn't bring up, he was a little nervous. He told the screener he was going to talk about how he's a black man and how he didn't want to get the vaccine. Well, hey, Bill and Melinda Gates said they want black people to get the vaccine first, and the Pope even encourages the minorities to get it first. Now, why is that? I wonder. You see, knowing a little bit about Bill Gates and his background, I think people need to be a little bit more aware of how scorpions operate. Remember the frog and scorpion story? Remember the scorpion, the frog needed to help the scorpion, and the scorpion said thank you, and then he stung the frog, and the frog...
I'll tell you what, man. It's too bad this is going on. Because we could do something cool, like we could all meet somewhere on vacation. Go someplace nice. Kick back. All hang out. Pool our money and just get some sweet place to hang. Hell yeah.
Get it.
I mean, people need to wise the hell up. They really do. And I really don't understand why there are people out there that are just so faithful to these people who don't give a damn about them. They turn their back on God. They turn their back on faith. They turn their back on their fellow man just because they're so desperate. Hanging a vaccine in front of you like a carrot is dangerous. That's why I think it's important we talk about the TV show Utopia tonight. It's a horror story that would fit right in with what's happening right now. 877-733-1011. We'll return. Don't go away.
Everything that has transpired has done so according to our design. We are Aftermath.fm.
Come here a minute. Oh, can I go? Can I just go, please?
Not yet. It's okay. This'll just make you sleep, is all.
What?
Hey, so check this out. This is one of my favorite bands here. It's called Fortunate Youth. This is called Love's the Most High. It's at the Mo Boogie Lounge. Acoustic style. Denver, Colorado.
Only found it here. Called Love is the Most High. Fortunate Youth. Make sure you guys only listen to Mo Boogie.
I see the sun going down, sitting out under the sea. It's like a long distance love that you hate to watch you leave. But when it goes down, oh, you just look around. You see that your love is nowhere to be found. But if it goes away, let it come back so right. Oh, I wanna see it, oh, my time. Say now, say come again, oh, till unfortunately it falls. Yes, they come again, oh, till I'm loving all in all. Oh yes, they come again until the fortunate it rise. Oh, love is the most high, I call you through the night. Oh, love is the most high. Yes, oh, say love is the most high. Ooh, yes, you know, something wrong in the middle of the night. Oh, they say that love is something like you don't seem right. It's like a little sickness on the spirit more and more. Let this fever take me over, cause I cannot take no more. So just put me down in this crowd right now. Oh, if living with you is not living somehow. Oh, let your loving come and let it pound on my door. Oh, now let it please, oh, please, Lord, oh, say now, say come again, oh, till unfortunately it falls. Yes, they come again, oh, till I'm loving all in all. Oh, yes, they come again until the fortunate is right. Oh, love is the most high, I'm crying through the night.
Boat drinks. Boys in the band ordered boat drinks. Visitor scored on the home rink. Everything seems to be wrong. Lately, newspaper man slip away somehow. Oh, I need you, darling. I want to see you right now. Can you slip away? Slip away. Slip away. Oh, I need you so. Love, oh love, how sweet it is when you're still it, darling. Let me tell you something now. How sweet it is. Now I know it's wrong, the things I ask you to do, but please believe me, darling, I don't mean to hurt you. But could you just slip away without him knowing you gone? Then we could meet somewhere where we're both are not known. And just can you slip away? Slip away.
dish, my crocketesh wish.
Sing it, baby.
I couldn't ask for another. No, I couldn't ask for another. Rovers in the heart. Rovers in the heart.
Last night, a little dancer came dancing to my door. Last night, a little angel came pumping on my floor. She said, "Come, baby, you got a license for love, and if it expires, pray help from above, because in the midnight hour, she cried more, more, more. With a rebel yell, she cried more, more, more. Wow. In the midnight hour, baby,
Gotta make a move to a town that's right for me. Town to keep me moving with some energy. Well, I talked about it, talked about it, talked about it, talked about it. Talked about moving. Gotta move on. Gotta move on. Gotta move on.
Now in the street there is violence, and lots of work to be done. No place to hang out or washing, and I can't blame all on the sun. Oh no, we're gonna rock down to Electric Avenue, and then we'll take it higher. Oh, we're gonna rock down to Electric Avenue, and then we'll take it higher. Working so hard like a soldier, can't afford a thing on TV. Deep in my heart I abhor ya. Can't get food for them kids. Good God, we're gonna rock down to Electric Avenue, and then we'll take it higher. Oh, we're gonna rock.
She has danced into the danger zone when the dancer becomes a dance. It can cut you like a knife if the gift becomes a fire. On the wire between will and what will be. She's a maniac, maniac on the floor. And she's dancing like she's never danced before. She's a maniac, maniac on the floor. And she's dancing like she's never danced before. On the ice blue line of insanity, it's a place most never see. It's a hard-won place of
Permanece a la escucha. Permanece a la escucha.
12 de la noche en La Habana, Cuba.
11 de la noche en San Salvador, El Salvador.
11 de la noche en Managua, Nicaragua.
Me gustan los aviones, me gustas tú. Me gusta viajar, me gustas tú. Me gusta la mañana, me gustas tú. Me gusta el viento, me gustas tú. Me gusta soñar, me gustas tú. Me gusta la mar, me gustas tú. ¿Qué voy a hacer? Je ne sais pas. ¿Qué voy a hacer? Je ne sais plus. ¿Qué voy a hacer? Je suis perdu. ¿Qué horas shoulder and the touch of the world that is older. I turn the switch and check the number. I leave it on when in bed I slumber. I hear the rhythms of the music. I buy the product but never use it. I hear the talking of the DJ. Can't understand just what does he say. I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
too much, I'm gonna tell you a little bit about this so that you understand what I'm talking about. Down there we have a plant that grows out in the woods and the fields. Looks something like a turnip green. Nearby called it poke salad. Poke salad. Used to know a girl lived down there and she'd go out in the evenings and pick her a mess of it, carry it home and cook it for supper. Cause that's about all they had to eat. They did alright. Down in Louisiana, where the alligators grow so mean, there lived a girl that I swear to the world made the alligators look tame. Poke salad Annie, poke salad Annie. Everybody said it was a shame, cause her mama was working on a chain gang. A mean, vicious woman. Every day for supper time, she'd go down by the truck patch and pick her a mess of poke salad and carry it home in a tow sack. Poke salad, Annie. The gators got your granny. Chomp. Everybody said it was a shame, cause her mama was working on a chain gang. A Richard spiteful, straight razor tote woman. Lord, I was pick a mess up.
The thrill is gone, babe. The thrill is gone away. The thrill is gone, mama. The thrill is gone away. You took all your life from me, baby, but you're gonna regret it someday. The thrill is gone. Oh, baby, I don't care no more for you. The thrill is gone, mama. I don't care no more for you.
your flat feet on the ground. When I said that, all you wanna do is ride.
In the street, smiling from my head to her feet. I said, hey, what is this? Now, baby, maybe she's in need of a kiss. I said, hey, what's your name, baby? Maybe we can see things the same. Now, don't you wait, oh, hesitate. Let's move before they raise the parking rate. All right now, baby, it's all right now.
Are you with me? We were playing in Philadelphia last night, 4th of July night. After the show, a lot of people from Philly said, where you going, Lonesome George, and your band? I said, we're going over to Jersey to have a ball, you know. And they said, I don't think they can party as good in Jersey as they do in Philly. What do you think? Are you ready to party tonight? Then I'm going to tell you a story all about the Houseman Blues. I come home one Friday. My lady didn't say, she was looking for some house rent, you know. She said, you get the house money yet? I said, no. She said, you better get the rent money by next Friday. Then next Friday went, and out the door I went.
Look at her. She's a bad man, just as fine as she can be. Hey, she's a bad man, just as fine as she can be. down? Or what you gonna do? You wanna get down? Tell me. Get down on it. Get down on it. Get down on it. Get down on it. Come on in. Get down on it. Get down on it. Get down on it. Get down on it. How you gonna do it if you really don't wanna dance? By standing on the wall. Get your back up off the wall. Tell me, how you gonna do it if you really don't wanna dance? By standing on the wall. Get your back up.
We were at a party. The earlobe fell in the gate. Someone reached in and grabbed it. What the rock lobster?
sleep at 5 o'clock.
I ain't seen you around. Baby, now where you been? Where you been? Yeah. I got the key to my...
We were asleep at 5 o'clock this morning.
I don't know why he would want to know that.
I know why he would want to know that. What did you guys discuss at 5 o'clock this morning? Who was that girl, Prescott? You ready?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it.
She's your adolescent dream, schoolboy stuff, a sticky sweet romance. She makes you wanna scream, wishing she was giving you a chance. So you fantasize away while you're squeezing her. You thought you heard her saying, good girls don't, good girls don't. I should be telling you, good girls don't.
And more without having to stay put.